Brandon Spivey here.
We are the
Markout Movie Podcasters. The energy is here today.
With you, clearly. All right, so on today's episode,
Got the list.
Are doing the list as Brandon can't. Oh, wait a minute. I'm trying to get my list pulled up. Yes.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I was pulling my list up, Brandon.
Are you excited?
I am excited, Brandon.
Me too.
Stop trying to peek.
I'm not trying to peek at your peak.
That don't sound right, Brandon.
Nothing sounds right with me.
I know. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So we are doing the list. All right. So what this show is pretty much about is we set forth to compile a list of our favorite, in this case, 80s movies.
80s.
And 80s is obviously I was born in 1980, so that is my decade. He was born in like 83. So since it is your decade too,
Kinda.
Sorta. I
remember the 90s more though.
I consider myself an 80s kid, but a 90s teen. Like in the 90s is where I remember like the.
Yeah, I was still a kid in the 90s and a teen in the 90s, so I had both.
Yeah. So in the 90s, so I remember like the Sandlots and the movies like that, in the 90s. But
Three Ninjas,
yeah. And
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, that's my stuff right there. But 80s was a fun decade for movies.
For horror and comedy.
Yeah, and some other stuff, but mainly horror.
Action too. Definitely action.
Mainly horror and comedy, though. I agree with that.
Yeah, and for Arnold and Sly and Bruce.
Yep. But Brandon, let me ask you this before we really get started, and let me go ahead and switch over so we'll know what we're talking about to people. But let me ask you this: how hard was it? Tell her before I start. Tell them your process.
I went through every single movie that was made from 1980 to 1989. Every year. There's over 600 movies made per year. It took a long time. I ended up with 301 movies that I really liked and condensed it to 25 top and 5 honorable mentions. It took a long time.
It's hard. Even then, because I'm still taking stuff out and, fitting stuff in, even up to maybe an hour before you came. But yeah, so we're here. We're going to start with our honorable mentions. Also, let us know what you think of our list. Tell us what your top favorite 80s movies is. Brandon, go ahead and give me your number 5 for your honorable mention.
I don't even have to look.
Do we go ahead? Do we do all 5 honorable mentions?
We can do just one.
All right, that's fine. Let's talk about it.
My number 5 would be Poltergeist.
Okay, that's good.
Look,
Tell us why.
I think the reason why it's a Spielberg production. Tobe Hooper directed, even though he gets credit for directing. We all feel that Spielberg directed it though, but I just love the story and this family moving in with these these spirits, where the Indians were buried there, like it's an Indian burial ground, and I don't know, it felt so 80s, like it was a horror film, but it was like fun horror.
Yep.
And I think the little girl, I can't think. Caroline, yeah. Just amazing. Her performance in the movie was just phenomenal. She makes the movie so much better. And I'm a big fan of Craig T. Nelson, especially back then. Coach. Yeah. Jo Beth Williams plays the mother. It just had a great cast. And I love the old woman, the
short old lady.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
That voice, it draws me in.
She's like the fictitious version of Lorraine.
Yeah.
What's her name? Lorraine from the Conjuring.
Conjuring universe.
A real person, by the way.
Yeah, she's a real person. She passed away not too long ago.
Yeah.
I can't think of her last name. But when I was growing up as a kid watching movies like Poltergeist and Phantasm, I always wanted this old short woman to meet up with a tall man for whatever reason. I just wanted them to share a scene together. I don't know why I drew that comparison as a kid, but I always wanted the tall man and that short woman
to
have a scene.
Crystal Bailey hits us up.
Warren,
with
that's right.
Lorraine Warren. Thank you. Keep it coming, man. We appreciate the comments.
Anyway, that's my number 5.
All right, guys. My number 5 is oh, it went off on me. My number 5 is Do the Right Thing, which
I didn't do the right thing because I never seen that movie.
Oh, Brandon, you are.
Is that about the one in the pizza place?
Yeah, it takes place in the pizza place.
Yeah, I've seen some of it.
There we go.
Early Spike Lee.
So this is early Spike Lee. This is Spike Lee. I think his first film was School Days, or maybe She Gotta Have It. I don't recall what his very first film was, but this is for me his best film, other than like Malcolm X, X. And that's including like the Black Klansman and anything else they've done. I don't think that none of his films has ever touched Do the Right Thing, other than X, like I said, because Denzel, it's freaking Denzel, right?
My favorite film of him is Inside Man. I haven't seen Malcolm X either.
I haven't seen Inside Man, so
that's Denzel.
Yeah, I should watch it. And Spike did it?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I had to check it out.
Jodie Foster's also in it.
Okay. I like Jodie. So
and Clive Owen.
I like Clive Owen.
Yeah, who's good
I kind of like Clive Owen.
He was good then.
yeah. I kind of like Clive Owen. But no, she's gotta have it. But Do the Right Thing is a great movie. It's in the heat wave in I think it's in Brooklyn. It's on this block, and he works at Sal's Pizza Place, delivering pizza, but he's interacting with a lot of the people that's in the town. It's in the heat wave. Cops are being racist, and it's just has a lot of social commentary. It's such a great movie. I recommend you check it out. Do the Right Thing. We might have to review it sometime, so you'll watch it.
So I'll watch it.
All right. She said, "You're welcome. Thank you." All right, and so hit me with your number 4 on your honorable mentions list.
Honorable mentions number 4. It's my favorite John Candy movie, Uncle Buck. Like I wanted to put so many John Candy movies on here, and you're gonna get so mad at me because this is the only one that made it. It's not. I mean, I had so many though to choose from, and
well, you went through every bloody movie
I
ever made,
and I was like, well, I mean, I love Spaceballs, but Uncle Buck really is my favorite. Just his performance, Macaulay Culkin, the teenage girl. I mean, his whole ordeal with his girl that he's in and out with. I mean, I just.
It was the same teenage girl that was like a teenager, like in a lot of movies in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, I forget her name, but I have her face.
Yeah. I just overall love that movie. And I've never really been the biggest John Candy fan. Not like you.
I'm a mark for Candy.
Yeah. I mean, I've always, somewhat enjoyed him. But this was, for me, is his most recognizable role.
It has a lot of heart.
Yeah.
So much heart.
Yeah. I just. Plane, Trains, Automobiles almost made it too. I had to go with nostalgia for me.
Nostalgia won for you.
Yes, it won. I'm not saying it's the best movie,
but it
did, but it won.
Let me tell you what's not on my list, and I just finished watching this real quick. It's not any honorable mention, but I thought it was really good. I felt it'd be cheap to put as an honorable mention or on the list because I'm just now watching it for the first time the other day, like yesterday. It's called Akira. It's like a Japanese anime movie that came out in 1988, and it is what kind of started the spark of what anime is today. It's very violent. It has a lot of body horror in it. It's I think it's cyberpunk, but it's just really good movie. I recommend people watch it. It's on Hulu. They have it both dubbed and in subtitles. I did the subtitles to get the full effect of it, but I just wanted to say that
I had a similar case where I just recently watched Lonesome Dove. Like one of the best westerns ever been made, but it didn't make my list. But it's one of the best ever made.
You recommend watching?
I do, if nothing more for Robert Duvall. I mean,
Robert Duvall. Yeah, you gotta go for
Tommy Lee Jones is great too, but Robert Duvall, man, he steals it. He steals everything he's in.
He's pretty.
But that's Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall's so good. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking right now to The Apostle. That movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
Man,
actually,
so
I think that's probably my favorite movie of his.
that's my favorite movie of his as well. All right, number 4 for me on honorable mentions. Don't get mad.
I don't get mad.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It didn't make my list. I love Pee-wee's Big Adventures. It's just it's a great movie. It's very nostalgic for me. The opening sequence is great by itself, but ultimately it's one I like, but it's not. I like other things more than that. But I loved, not to discredit that movie. It's so great.
We'll talk about it because it's on my list.
All right. Hit me up with your number.
Number 3, honorable mentions: The Beastmaster.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
I love Beastmaster.
I love it.
It didn't make my list though.
It made mine. I mean, it's one of the few movies that I actually watched with my dad when I was little.
Mine's too. That's crazy. Like that's one. But me and my dad, like my dad doesn't really watch a lot of movies, but me and him actually would watch Beastmaster.
Yeah.
I remember the little ferrets.
Oh yeah, I love those. I wanted one when I saw the movie.
Just like that's crazy how we had a similar experience with that. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I love the whole ordeal with that story. It's actually probably one of the very first films in that genre that I saw this before I saw Conan or anything like that, anything in the fantasy realm, even before Willow. So it stuck with me. And Mark Zinger, I think is, I don't know. I'll always know him as the Beastmaster.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's did other stuff, but.
I
don't know a lot he's done.
I just know him as Beastmaster. If he came into my house right now, I'd be like, "What are you doing here?" But other than that, I'd be like, "Hey, Beastmasters."
Yeah.
But as a kid, and it's crazy to say this, but it's true. I used to confuse Beastmaster with Clash of the Titans so much because they had some similarities, but they're not the same movie at all. Like the one is Ray Harryhausen's final film where he did animation, like the creatures and stuff in the Clash of the Titans. Ray Harryhausen, for those that don't know, was just like master of stop motion. Yeah, but no, you never seen Clash of the Titans, the original?
Not the original. I saw
the remake.
The remake.
Which I had to go back and watch the remake, but yeah, that's a good one though. Beastmaster.
Yeah.
All right, my number 3 is Clue. Clue is a movie that has Tim Curry. Jeez, Tim Curry. It has.
Tim's gotten around.
It has Christopher Lloyd, Madeline Kahn,
Susan Sarandon.
Is that Susan Sarandon?
I believe
she's very young. Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, I believe that's.
I was looking at her. I didn't know if it was Susan Sarandon, and I had to look back. I don't think it's Susan Sarandon.
Is it not?
No,
it looks like her.
Yeah,
it's been a while since I've seen it. But...
No, I don't think it is. It's this other lady. Kind of looks a lot like her, but it's not her. But it has it's so funny. Tim Curry. I keep wanting to say Tim Allen, but Tim Curry is such a great actor, and he's so underappreciated as an actor. But yeah,
he's great now.
Clue's great. He's also in Legend. He was also in. He played like the devil creature in Legend. It's crazy.
That's one of the very few Tom Cruise films I haven't seen.
You're not missing much with Tom, but Chris.
Hey.
but Chris, Tim Curry, yeah.
I'm so tired of the hate on Tom. Everywhere I turn around, there's hate on Tom.
But yeah, I just happened to look on the screen, and there was like the old Modi lady from The Shining on screen. But anyway, that's my number 3. Is Clue. If you haven't seen it, it's on Prime. It's so funny. It's great humor, like great writing, quick wit. What are you? I'm a butler. What do you do? I buttle. It's great. It's great. Go ahead.
Clue's a great film. It didn't make my list. I don't think.
You didn't?
I don't think it did.
Yeah. It came in by the skin of his teeth because it was so hard compiling this list.
No,
I'm kidding you not.
I got it down like if we were in the top 50, it would have been there.
Yeah,
but
25 is kind of hard.
It is hard, man. You have no idea.
Imagine if it was just 10.
Good Lord.
You'll still be in the corner somewhere shaking.
Yeah, but anyway, my number 2, and this hurts me to say
for
this.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah, honorable mentions. Number 2 for me, and this truly does hurt for me to put this film there, but it is First Blood, the first Rambo. What?
I'm so surprised.
I know, but don't worry, Sly's gonna make my list.
I know Sly. I have no doubt Sly's somewhere on your list.
Travolta's on the list.
Don't tell me. No spoilers, man. Don't spoil yourself, Brandon. But
I do.
Don't do that.
But yeah, I mean,
that's what you should get a shirt that says spoilers. That's what I do. That'd be funny. Spoilers on the front. That's what I do on the back. That would be so funny.
Marketing for the Markout Movie Podcast right now.
And then should have the Markout Movie Podcast. Like, yeah, man, we should have shirts. Anybody know any shirt places? Hook us up.
But I love the first Rambo. I love the whole story. I think it's one of the best acting jobs Stallone does in his entire career, other than playing Rocky. I would say it is like his second best performance, other than playing Rocky.
It's so deep on so many levels because he is a Vietnam vet at that point. I think that's coming back, and he is trying to get back into society, and society isn't having no part of that, which it actually shows what happened to Vietnam vets when they came back to the United States. They was called baby killers. They had blood through on them, and spit on, and was disrespected because they had to participate for most part in a war that they were drafted in. Some people did enlist, but it's just paints a picture of that. So Rocky is
Rambo.
Rambo. I'm sorry, but Rocky too. But Rambo in this case is a very, it's a very poignant movie, and it's very got social commentary, and you root for Rambo.
Yeah, you do. And I do love Ron Dennehy in this movie though as the sheriff. Like, he's not really a bad guy. He's just being a prick to Rambo.
Yeah,
because you don't trust him. He kind of looks at him. He's this stranger. He's a vet. You hear as you just explained, what they did over there. It's got a quiet town. He wants to take care of it.
Older vets did give Vietnam vets any love because, like, if someone served in Korea, they didn't show that much love for someone that served in Vietnam because they said that's not a real war. Korea War was a real war, type of thing.
Yeah.
I did want to point out that let me see. I'm trying to find him. Markout was in that movie. I didn't even realize that. I hadn't seen Rambo in so long. I want to say, Charles Napier. Charles Napier is in Rambo. Charles Napier, for those that don't know, is from Kentucky. Did go to WKU.
That's the wrong Rambo film. He's in part 2.
First Blood, but he's in it though.
He's part of the franchise.
He's part of the franchise. Boom. We got one. All right. So Rambo. All right. That's your number 2.
Yep.
My number 2 is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh man, that was on my list at one point.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit it didn't make my list. It made my honorable mentions because it is a revolutionary movie. Yeah. The only movie that you will ever find where Disney and Warner Brothers got along long enough to put Mickey and Bugs in the same movie to share the screen at the same time. Same with Donald and Daffy. And then this fictional Roger Rabbit was created for this film, but it's so good. It's so good. I'm trying to remember the name of the actor that plays Bob
Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins. Yeah, he was so good in this movie.
Yeah,
and I became a fan of his in that film from that film. I was already a fan of his, but he did a I think it's called Critical Condition or something like that. I forgot the name of it. It's got Denzel in it. It's a very early Denzel movie where he dude gets Denzel's heart, and now Denzel's a ghost. and follows him around.
I hadn't seen that one.
Such a good movie. But yeah, and he's a racist too, so it's really funny. He's like, you can't do those type of movies no more. But Bob is a racist in that movie, and Denzel's like a black, like a drug dealer guy, and he dies. But then, like, this is not spoilers. This is the plot of the movie. And then he gets his heart, and now he sees Denzel, everywhere. It's great. It's great. But that's mine. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Jessica Rabbit alone. But anyway, it's crazy. She's animated, but I don't care. Go ahead.
My number one honorable mention is one of my favorite romantic comedies of all time. It's just up there. There was a lot of them in the 80s.
I'm guessing it.
But you guessing it?
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
Stars Patrick Dempsey and Can't Buy Me Love. I love that movie. I remember watching it I was like 12 maybe when I first saw it. And it made me a Patrick Dempsey fan. And I can't remember her name now, but I loved her in it as well. It wasn't the main girl, it was one of her friends. I want to say she was in like a Friday the 13th as well, but I may be wrong on that. But I love this movie. The popular girl that's dating the nerd at most people's lawns. I mean, it's not truly realistic that it would happen, but
is she a redhead?
I think so.
I wonder if
it's been a few years.
I remember the movie, but I was more of a Better Off Dead type of
John Cusack.
Yeah, I'm more of a John Cusack guy. But anyway,
I mean, I love Cusack too. Yeah. But there was only a few Cusack films I saw in the 80s.
Cusack didn't make my list.
He did not.
He did not make my list. But
yeah. But I love this movie. I mean, it's like the towny guy that gets the popular girl. I mean, it gives nerds like me a chance to believe and hope.
I hope you do find one day your popular girl. But
well, she doesn't have to be popular, and I'm just saying.
Yeah, she gotta be popular. But anyway.
No, she doesn't.
Sounds like she gotta be popular.
No, she doesn't.
But anyway, my number one honorable mention is The Princess Bride. It didn't make my list. It made my honorable mention list. As You Wish. I'm wearing the shirt right now.
As I wish. Did I wish it? Did it come true?
Well, you did. But no. Princess Bride is such a great movie. It has Fred Savage in it. I want to say it does have Fred Savage. He's in it.
I know, but he's not the main character.
I know, no, he's not. But he's in it. Andre the Giant is in it. Mandy Patinkin.
It's Carrie Ellis, right?
Carrie Ellis is in it. Yeah, but these are people I like more than Carrie Ellis in this movie.
Okay.
Not no offense against Carrie. I like Carrie Ellis, but guy.
He just has a face you like to hate.
Guy.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot his name. He's married to I want to say he's married to Jamie Lee Curtis at one point. I don't know. He was in the not a Monty Python fame, but just a great movie, man. This movie is so good. It's a romantic. It's not even a romantic comedy. It's like more of a fantasy film, but it has romantic elements, has comedic elements, but it's just such a great movie. And it's the only, other than my dinner with Andre, I think. I don't know if that's true, but it's the main movie that has Andre the Giant in it. That you get to see just how lovable Andre was, and I'm thinking about I miss Andre right now, and I didn't even know the guy. But yeah, I miss Andre. I cried when Andre died. I literally cried. I remember my mom telling me that Andre the Giant died, and I bawled because I was a fan of Andre the Giant, and I'm not afraid to admit that. He was a giant in my life, so that's good. It sounds cheesy, but it's true.
He was a giant in your life.
I think he's a giant in everybody's life.
He was a giant, pretty much everyone's, yes. As far as wrestlers dying, who I cried, I mean, Macho Man probably.
Owen. Chavo, not Chavo, but Eddie. I'm sorry, Chavo.
You're gonna get people saying we wish Chavo died instead of Eddie.
Nobody. Only you just said.
I don't wish anyone died.
It sounds like you do. Right?
No, I don't wish
You
anyone
want a
died.
popular girl, and you also
I
want
don't
Toby
want
to
a
die.
popular girl. You're taking things out of context.
Okay.
Okay, number 25.
On this list, go ahead.
Yes. Man. Like, I don't watch much like movies that deal with music. Like, I mean, I watch them. I don't watch them a lot, but this one hit me right in the spot, and it's only fitting.
I'm curious. Okay.
That it would have our man Bacon in it.
I know what it is. Okay.
Footloose. When he's at the end of the movie when he screams, "Let's dance!" I get excited.
I can tell you get excited,
No, I
bro.
love this movie though. I love everything about it. I love John Lithgow as the father, the preacher. You know, when they're burning the Bibles, man, just because people want to dance.
Yeah.
Overall, because something happened years ago in an accident. Well, I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah,
if I keep talking, I will.
He will spoil it.
I will.
But also, if you haven't seen Footloose and it came out like in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Unless you're really young and you just now getting into 80s films, then yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a classic movie. I probably watched this before Tremors, and I don't know though, but this and Tremors is probably my favorite two movies of Kevin Bacon.
My first foray into Bacon, it would be Flatliners. That was the first film that
I remember it, but I don't. It wasn't the first.
It's the first one I want to. I mean, I remember seeing Friday 13th.
Yeah,
I watched it years after the fact
too.
Because like it came out 80,
1980,
and
I think same year he did Diner.
I probably seen it like in maybe 84, 85. But at that point, you know, there's other ones, so that's why I mix them up a lot because. There was a lot of them when I was a kid that came out at that point. So I was like, I don't know. We got a message. Let's see what they're saying. Crystal says, "Footloose, yes, love it." That's probably the voice you used too. No, she didn't. Thank you. Yeah, Footloose is a great film. Number 25 for me on my list is Terminator.
What? Oh my God!
I knew it. That's why I got giddy. I knew you was gonna react.
Man,
Terminator. All right. Let me tell you. So Terminator.
Please do.
It's an absolutely phenomenal film. It's actually got the best score, like on Rotten Tomatoes. It's 100%. Both people. Both. Yeah, critics and it's 100%.
That's unheard of.
It's not many of them reach 100, but that's 100. But and why not? James Cameron does a hell of a job.
He does. He does.
And
they all
Linda
do.
Hamilton. Yeah, just everybody in that movie. Arnold is great. I couldn't see no one else in that role actually. And actually in looking at it, and because the reason why I made my list, because I went back and watched it this week, just in preparation to see, because I always remember T2. I was like, have I really, truly, absolutely seen Terminator? And I've seen parts of it. I've seen most of it. I've seen it, but I didn't remember it. You know what I mean? And so,
I remember.
So I went back and watched it. And Terminator is actually a horror film. This is a horror film for sure. Like, it's such a slasher. It's like, and he's like the way he goes through and just like taking people out is just so. It's terrifying. And coming back. I would say that it's just, man, I loved it. But it made 25 on my list though. But I loved it though. It's on the list.
It's on the list,
Brandon.
All right. My number 24 is this character I get compared to most.
Curious now.
I mean, because a lot of people have said I'm like this character. I'm just a big kid who won't grow up. I said Travolta made my list. Look who's talking.
Oh, I was sitting there thinking like, what movie is he talking about?
Yeah, Look Who's Talking. I totally relate to that character and his bond with Mikey, and Kirstie Alley's in it too. And I don't care for her in anything she's ever done. I really don't. Not Cheers, not Look Who's Talking.
She's also in Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan, so you probably ain't gonna care for that.
I just don't care for her. I don't. It's her. I don't know if it's her voice. It annoys me. I just.
Also, in this movie is George Segal. He plays the father of Mikey, and he just passed away this year, was it?
Yeah, it was like a few weeks back, like
maybe a month back. But yeah, God rest your soul, and I pray for your family and friends. Those that knew you. I loved him on Goldbergs as well. I got excited when I saw him on Goldbergs. I'm like, hey, it's I just but yeah, no. Look Who's Talking is a good pick.
I know it's a good pick.
Yeah, you got Travolta, and then you got my boy Bruce. He's doing the voice.
Yeah, Bruce plays Mikey. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love the character James, but yeah, I always got compared to that character.
He was such. I don't know why though, Brand. Please explain that.
I'd rather not. I guess because he's like a big kid in an adult body.
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't take
things too serious.
Yeah, which I don't either.
Well, I love how they meet. This is the best meeting of a couple in a film, where she's just having to get in his cab and she's pregnant, and he's like, oh, like the line, I know this city like the back of my hand, stuck with me, and just the movie is such a great film. It's great 80s.
Yeah, I also love when he's talking to Mikey about the mother. It just
he's talking to her.
Yeah, he's talking to a toddler like they're an actual adult with him, and I love it. He's got the water bag on his head, and it's a lovable. Overall it's a lovable movie.
Yeah,
and I hate that it's getting remade.
He's Mikey's dad for sure. Yeah, no, what? It's getting remade?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Oh, I think I blocked it out mentally. But all right, so that is your number 20. That's your 24. Number. Yeah. All right, so my number 25.
24.
24. I'm sorry. Is The Never Ending Story. Oh wow! So this movie, Betrayal, Falcor. These were like, I remember as a kid, after watching this movie, going outside, looking in the sky, looking for Falcor because I really wanted Falcor to come get me. I really did. But I was a kid, man. I was a kid watching this movie. You see it and you're like, man, it can happen. Let me go outside and wait for this wish dragon or whatever. Luck dragon rather come and but it's such a great movie. It's this kid is being bullied at school, and he pretty much skips out of school but hides in the cellar, not cellar, but the attic of the school, reads an old book and just dives into the story and becomes a part of the story.
So the Page Master ripped that off.
Yeah, Page Master totally is a knockoff.
So I don't know if I've actually seen The Never Ending Story.
Never Ending Story is absolutely
Is Kevin Costner in one of them?
No. Why would he be?
I was thinking he was in one of them.
No. Never Ending Story is a great film. I recommend you watch it if you haven't. Children love it. Adults will love it too. It's like it got some hard material. Like it's some grown up stuff that happens that you gotta deal with, like death and things. So it's a really good movie though.
Yeah, I'll take your word. I remember him flying on whatever that thing was.
It's a dragon. He does.
Is that what they call a dragon in the 80s?
Well, it's a dragon in the story, Brandon. It could be a fairy dragon. Have you never seen China?
No, I've never been.
Who didn't want to have a luck dragon? I know I did. Thank you, Crystal. This man didn't know that. He didn't know that this was a dragon.
It don't look like a dragon.
It looks like a dog, don't it?
Kind of
in the face, but it's a dragon.
It looks like.
Have you ever seen in Chinese culture how they kind of draw or show dragons, like the kind of
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
To me, it looks like a sheep with a dog face.
Okay, Brandon, let's move on to your list. Gonna sit here, gonna go ahead and just destroy and trash my childhood memories. I was waiting for Falcor. You gonna just trash my childhood memories? Well, man in the ghetto just couldn't. Nobody else can have. Everybody else can have a dragon. I can't have a dragon. No, I'm playing. I'm playing with him. I didn't grow up in the ghetto.
All right, number 23, as you will, is
are you Dusty Rhodes?
I just want to be a common man, Aaron. I just want to be a common man. Number 23 for me is a Sylvester Stallone-led project. It's one of my favorite guilty pleasures.
Throw Mamas from the Train. No.
That's Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito.
Stop or make your mama shoot.
No, that did not make my list at all. I don't hate it, though. But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's over the top. And arm wrestling, I mean, it's...
arm wrestling.
But what I love about this movie is the Bond... What? It is arm wrestling.
It is. This is somebody's arm split in that movie.
Yes.
Or was I just misremembering?
No, it happened.
Okay, I remember that happening. But it also happens in The Fly. So
yeah,
a lot of arm splits in the 80s.
Yeah, but I love the main thing I like about this movie though is the bond between Sly and the kid, Michael. And, you know,
he's a truck driver, man.
Yeah, he was a truck driver. He abandoned his family years back. He's trying to make it right. His wife is dying from cancer, and his grandfather is Michael's grandfather is trying to keep him from Lincoln Hawk. Is, you know, why am I explaining over the top? Everybody knows what over the top is, but at least I hope they do. But I mean, I just love it. It was Terry Funk's in the movie.
Yeah, Terry Funk is in the movie.
Yeah, he gets beat down by Sly, then gets thrown through a door. I loved it.
Terry Funk was, I'm misremembering No Holds Barred.
Lord.
You know,
I wanted that to make my list so bad.
Dude was on that movie. What's my dude? He's a wrestler as well.
I know you're talking about.
Man, he's known for the lariat. He was very brutal. He's very much like Terry Funk. Stan Hansen.
Stan Hansen, yeah.
Stan Hansen, yeah. But yeah, no. So that's a good one. Over the top.
Yeah.
Good pick. Number 23 for me.
Meet Me Halfway. Love that song. From Over the Top.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the hell's going on? All right. Number 23 for me is The Shining by Stanley Kubrick. And Stephen King, but Stephen didn't really like it. But anyway, The Shining. Oh, look. We have American Werewolf in London on the screen. There's a documentary about horror on screen displaying 80s horror. Anyway, so this movie, The Shining, oh, what a phenomenal film. It's shot really well. Kubrick is like insane man when it comes to shoots, and he will have you shoot several times to get it. We got another.
She said yes.
Yes. She loves The Shining. That's good. The Shining. This film is so.
Or she loves Over the Top.
I doubt it. It's probably The Shining.
I'm gonna go Over the Top.
We're gonna go Shining. Yeah, we're gonna go Shining in this. Which one got a sequel? The Shining.
Over the Top. Well, how many years did it take? And it took him 30 years to even write a sequel. So,
but hey, because we didn't have a Mike Flanagan until we got a Mike Flanagan, now we got one.
I think they should have left it alone.
No. What? Oh, no, they should leave Over the Top alone.
They have.
Exactly. Don't touch it. Or they maybe should touch it and make it better.
No!
The Shining. That's what I thought. Yeah. So, yeah, The Shining is such a great film. There's horror, true horror. It's, man, Jack Nicholson does a great job.
Right.
Shelley Duvall is good. And then the little Red Rum kid, he's okay. But it's great, man. It's a great film. I don't want to give any spoilers. Oh, Scatman Carruthers is in this freaking movie, man. He's great.
Can I give a spoiler?
Yeah. Huh? Don't get it. I get it. No, you cannot, Brandon. You want to give spoilers. But Brandon, go ahead, go with yours. Shining is a great film. I don't know. It's not a salute. I just was pointing at you.
Number 22 for me. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Wow, thing. Major League.
Yeah. I was thinking, was that in the 80s? I guess it was.
Yes, it was the 80s.
It's very tail end, wasn't it? Like 88, 89?
88, 89, something like that. Yeah. It's my favorite baseball movie ever made. Charlie Sheen when he was Charlie effing Sheen.
Facts. That movie is the greatest.
Tom Berenger.
Well, I will argue and say Field of Dreams is the greatest baseball movie ever made. But
But
the greatest Major League Baseball movie ever made is
I was just gonna go pure fun, but
it's fun.
Field of Dreams is not fun. That's just a real movie.
That's a real movie. It didn't make my list. It was on my list. I took it off.
Yeah, it made around 30, 35 for me. Field of Dreams, but it didn't. I love it, but
Field of Dreams. If those that haven't watched it, if you want to see pure Kevin Costner, watch Field of Dreams. Also, you got
young Ray Liotta.
James Earl Jones, the young Ray Liotta.
You got Darth Vader in there.
Yeah, it's just a great film. Who plays Kevin's wife? She's actually an actress that I just can't think of it. I can't think of her name.
I'm pretty sure they're all actors, Aaron. But
or you got to have SAG, right? But anyway,
I can't think of her name.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a good movie, man. Right. If you haven't seen it, it's about connecting with family through a pastime that is baseball, but it's on a deeper level. Man, it's such a great movie. I want to watch Field of Dreams now. Such a good movie.
It's so good. I thought I picked Major League, but
oh yeah, Major League. Yeah, my bad. I digress.
But he went straight into Field of Dreams.
Let's go back to Major League. So, it has the dude from Allstate. He's in Major League.
President Palmer.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah, that
David
too.
Haysbert.
I'm gonna always check out Allstate.
He was in one of the Lonesome Dove films. Miniseries.
It also has Wesley Snipes.
James Cameron.
Yep. Willie Mae Hayes, right?
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays Hayes, right?
Yeah, Willie Mays Hayes. Then they replaced him with Omar Epps.
Nobody. Why you? Come on, Omar Epps.
Because Wesley got big. That's exactly why.
True. That's true.
They weren't gonna pay him that much money.
I want to say Wesley got, because before this, Wesley was still that guy that just would show up in things. But after this, after Major League. And he got the role in New Jack City.
Is that the one?
Yeah, New Jack City is his breakthrough performance.
I didn't like it.
But it got him big. It got him to the next level.
57
it got him to a point where he can later on be Blade. It got him there.
Well, yeah.
Passenger 57.
I did like Sugar Hill though.
Yeah, the Murder at 1600.
Oh yeah, Murder 1600. Diane Lane.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Wesley's in there too, right? That's Wesley, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
James Cromwell. It has an all-star cast.
Yeah, a Money Train later on with old Woody.
And don't forget White Men Can't Jump.
White Men Can't Jump. I would say White Men Can't Jump would be the movie that probably, I don't know if he was as big yet in that. Like, because that was the breakthrough. That was really.
It wasn't Mo Better Blues.
That was Denzel.
Well, Snipes is in it too. I thought.
Really?
Plays his buddy.
I had to go back and watch.
That's why I just called him his buddy.
Oh.
Back then, he was.
I have NLD. Buddy. You got to make it plain for me. I don't understand what you're saying. But all right.
That's why we're here.
But all right. So I'm sorry. Major League. Anything else you want to say about Major League? Charlie Sheen was great as well.
It introduced me to Wild Thing.
And when he comes out, with his glasses on, they open up and then go through. I was like, oh man, it just gets you hyped, man.
Yes.
It's a good movie.
I know.
That's why you chose it, right?
That's why I chose it.
Number 22 for me, National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh.
Chevy Chase.
Chevy.
Beverly also, yeah, I think it's the one that has Anthony Michael Hall as
I can read your mind, man.
Yeah, thank you. We've been together for so long. But yeah, this movie is so great. And it has my dude John Candy in it. He shows up.
Randy Quaid.
Yeah, Randy Quaid shows up. Yeah, it's that scene where she's like, the girl is mixing the Kool-Aid with her hand. And then she's like, my daddy says I'm a good kisser. It's just so weird. Such a weird movie. You can tell they didn't think that this is going to be the end of this movie. And we're not going to do it anymore. But it took off and became such a hit. Arguably the best one out of it. After that, it would be Christmas Vacation for me. Not European Vacation.
I have never seen European or Vegas Vacation.
Yeah, those are not as good. But they are all canon with the other vacation film with the dude from Andy from The Office.
Yeah, I've seen that one too.
They're all
Vacations.
They're all canon. They're all in the same film series.
My favorite would be Christmas. I just overall love that.
It's a fun one. It almost made my list, but I couldn't go past the first vacation film. It's such a great movie.
I agree. It's great.
Yeah. They dragged the dog. Oh my gosh, it's so terrible. But yeah, good movie. Go ahead, Brandon.
Number 21, Gremlins. I know you expect it to be higher up or lower. But I mean, Gremlins, you know, it introduces us to little Gizmo and the other Gremlins. You know, the whole story is just. You all right there?
Yeah, my dog's looking at me.
It's just it's nothing but 80s. It's the best, you know, out of the 80s. I mean, with these characters and these little creatures. I mean, you just want to hug Gizmo. You want to play with Gizmo.
You want a Gizmo, but you know that he's too much responsibility, and you'll probably kill everybody in town.
Well, that's the chances you take.
To have a Gizmo?
Have a Gizmo.
It's worth it, right?
It could be. But I mean, I love that movie, though. I mean, do you consider it a Christmas movie?
I do, absolutely.
Yeah, it's always the question. It's like kind of like Die Hard. I don't consider Die Hard a Christmas movie, but I do consider Gremlins a Christmas movie.
All right, we'll talk about it. So is that what you guys say on Gremlins?
Yeah.
Let me speak. No, I got it on my
I'm
list.
sure it's like top 5 for you.
All right, so number 21 for me. I don't know, my voice cracked. Brandon already mentioned this. Poltergeist. Poltergeist made my list for pretty much the same reasons Brandon stated. It's just great cast. Little Heather Rourke was good as Carol Ann. It just was freaky. The clown scene freaked me out as a kid. And later on, going back and watching it and seeing like the scene with the guy with eating the chicken, and then next thing you know, and the food's crawling against the thing. It's just like, do you have like chips in your pocket, bro?
I don't have anything.
My dog is like going ham on Brandon there. All right, let's see. Crystal says, "Oh, it was a cute movie." What movie was? What do you think it was? What were you talking about? Gremlins. Probably Gremlins. It's cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, it's cute. If you're into creatures that morph into like demons. No, I'm just playing. All right, so yeah, let me remove the comment there. There you go. But no, Poltergeist, great film. Yes, it's Tobe Hooper, but Spielberg had his little say in it. But Tobe is like whenever Spielberg's involved, it's just overwhelmingly Phil Spielberg, no matter what. Tobe probably had most hands in and directed it and did his thing, but it felt Spielberg. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I do. I said it. You know, it felt more like a Spielberg production than a Tobe Hooper film. But yeah.
For those that don't know, Tobe did Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's what he's known for. So.
That's about it. Yeah. No, he's known for more.
He did some more things, but that is
the main thing.
That's like Sean, not Sean Connery, but Sean, the dude that did Friday the 13th. I can't even think of his name.
Oh, that is the only thing.
Yeah, like that's
Sean is Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
He lives off Jason.
Yeah, boy, don't.
I mean, literally, he lives off that. You know, that brand, and I hate him for it because he did nothing else. Well, he just like, oh, this guy just makes money for me. I'm gonna just.
Well, I mean, that's what you can do when you like.
Also, you can be creative.
John, I love you, John Carpenter, but he pretty much did that with Halloween. After the first
one,
he
did other stuff.
Yeah,
Wes Craven did other stuff.
I see what you're saying. So not only because John is making money off of Halloween, but he said, hey, I have the thing, and I have the fog, and I have Christine, and I have other things.
But they were also more talented than Sean Cunningham.
Facts. All right, I'm not arguing with that. What's your next one? You're not wrong.
My next movie, number 20 for me, is it's one of my favorite martial arts films. I believe Eric Roberts gives the performance of his career.
Oh, I know what it is. Okay, go ahead.
Philip Ree's in it. James Earl Jones. Chris Penn. I mean, it really is a great film about martial arts. Best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Like the sequels suck, but that first film was a legit film that dealt with martial arts, and
really good. Oh man,
Eric Roberts.
I didn't even realize it in the '80s, man. Yeah, that was so good.
I've never seen Eric Roberts perform better in that movie.
No, he was at his best in that movie.
Yeah, when he separates his shoulder, you feel it. I mean, I remember when I first watched it, I'm bawling because I see how much pain he's in. He's like, he's telling him to separate it, to pull it, and his son's in a wheelchair. He got ran over. He's there watching it. It's so emotional. And Philip Ree's character, his brother died by the person he's fighting in the beginning. So he's about revenge. It's got a revenge story. It's like Team USA. Are they facing Korea?
Yeah, they face Korea.
Yeah,
because Korea is the one that killed his brother.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just a really good martial arts film. But if you haven't seen it, I won't spoil anymore.
Yeah,
check it out if you can find it though.
The thing about that movie is everybody that's on Team USA, because it's Taekwondo, I think is what they're doing.
Yeah.
So because it's Korean, they're known for Taekwondo. So everybody on Team USA is distinctively different.
Yes, they
have all different personalities, but they mesh together well. Chris Penn is probably at his best in that movie.
Yeah, I always wonder what happened to him as an actor.
He's dead, but other than that,
he's not dead.
I'm pretty sure Chris Penn's dead.
No, he's alive.
I'm pretty sure the man died a couple of years ago.
No, man. He's still alive.
How you know this? I'm pretty sure he's dead.
He just does terrible movies now. But
no, Eric Roberts still alive.
He does terrible movies too.
Chris Penn is dead, I think.
I don't think so. I think Chris is still kicking.
I think Chris Penn was an American actor, died 2006.
He died?
Chris is dead, man.
I did not know that.
This last movie that he did was it was like Rush Hour, because it was the first Rush Hour film.
I'm sad now.
Yeah, I'm sorry to ruin your day, but Chris Penn is dead.
Man.
That's gonna be the name of a book. Chris Penn is dead. I'm not making light of him dying. But, you didn't know Chris is dead?
I did not know that he died.
Yeah, he's been dead for several years, Brad.
I'm sad about it now.
Yeah, he was working up until he died, man. He was trying
over here making light of it. Trying to get me to cry on the podcast.
Well.
Darn you, Aaron. Darn you.
Sometimes you got to pin your heart to some stuff, Brandon. I was playing. I'm so sorry.
I love the movie more now.
Oh, this is real. This is real emotion. I thought he was joking. He's about to cry. You okay?
I'm fine. He's
about to cry. I'm so sorry.
Give me your number 20.
All right. My number 20 is Batteries Not Included. Spielberg film. Steven Spielberg. Oh, and she's dead for sure, but she's great. Jessica Tandy. I'm sorry. Jessica Tandy was in this movie. This movie is about like this these people that live in this apartment building in New York. And there was a really popular apartment for his day, and these his husband and wife owned the Rileys. They owned a cafe that they served and people came, but then over the years the building has become dilapidated. Is that the word?
What was it?
Dilapidated.
I'll go with it.
I feel like it's right, but I also feel like it's wrong. But yeah, the building becomes a mess essentially, and this big evil corporate guy is trying to come in to buy it up, to destroy it, and build condos, which rich people like to do, and so they're trying to get people in this house to sell and move. But there's a few tenants that haven't moved or don't want to sell because they want to stay there. And this gang comes through to destroy it. But what happens is these little alien spacecrafts come in and helps rebuild and repair things and get up and swinging. And it's such a great. It has so much heart. Such a great little movie. And it is, like I said, it's a Spielberg film, and it feels like a Spielberg film. It has that. Spielberg's on my list a lot, guys. So buckle in for that. But yeah, absolutely love this movie. Jessica Tandy, it gives an outstanding performance. She was one of my favorite actresses. She passed away, I would say, in the 90s. But yeah, Jessica Tandy was such a great actress. Yeah, I heard that too. Did you hear that, Cole? He shot up like, what was that? But anyway, go ahead, Brandon.
Well, I just want to say, I'm glad Chris Penn made my list twice. Best of the Best and Footloose. So, but I'll go with.
He wasn't Footloose.
Yes,
I forgot about that.
He was Bacon's friend.
My God, Brandon, I'm sorry to trick you there. Did I just kill your joy?
Yeah, I think that's all he's in for me. Yeah, I'm a little shaken up about it. But number 19, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I had to get Rick Moranis in here. He'll lift me up. I love this movie, though. I mean, I'm sure it's on your list. I mean, yeah, but number 19 for me, it's Rick at his finest. He shrinks his kids.
It sounds terrible. Like social services would be in play.
But I mean, it's just such a heartwarming, fun film with Disney, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure if Disney did it or they just ended up getting the rights to it.
I think it's Disney. It's always been a Disney film.
Well, it makes sense.
I think
Rick Moranis and Disney just go together.
Sequel was, I want to say, direct to DVD or direct to video then, because there was no such thing as DVD.
Oh no, not that one. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid went to theaters.
I didn't really like that one. Honey, I Blew Up the Kids was great. Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves was not as good.
Yeah, that one went straight to video.
Yeah.
Kind of like Look Who's Talking Now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I was always a big fan of these films, and just seeing Rick in anything. I mean, he just warms your heart. I mean,
mm-hmm.
I'll let you go ahead because I'm not right now.
Number 19 will get you right. For me, number 19 is Ghostbusters.
Mm-mm.
Too soon?
It didn't make my list.
Oh, okay. Ghostbusters for me.
But I bought it today.
Goodbye. I have it up there somewhere. But anyway, Ghostbusters for me is it's Bill Murray at his best, Harold Ramis at his best, Dan Aykroyd at his best, Ernie Hudson. Man, did I forget one? And then Rick Moranis, of course, and then Sigourney Weaver. Just the cast is great, and then Amy Potts. Annie Potts. I'm sorry, she's from Franklin. I should know that. But anyway, Annie Potts, she's great in it as well. Everybody's so good in this movie.
Yeah, I was actually talking to a girl at Half Price Bookstore about Ghostbusters and Willow, and I don't know, it's just weird.
Really? Like, did y'all hit it off?
I don't want to talk about it.
But all right. Anyway, so yeah.
I shouldn't have mentioned it.
You did it. You dove right in there.
Well, you just brought up Ghostbusters and it just made me think of it,
Yeah, but the emphasis is hanging
she
on
had some
girls.
nice tattoos, though. I will say that.
Hey, Half Price Book here in Bowling Green.
I really shouldn't say anything else.
Anyway, yeah. So no, Ghostbusters is such a good movie. Rick Moranis is a lovable neighbor, but you can also see how he is irritating. But the scene with him being chased. It's hard. I always felt so bad when he got attacked by the demon dog and became a demon, but I always felt bad for him. I really did. But yes, please. He's so good in that movie. Oh man. But yeah, Ghostbusters doesn't make it lower on my list, but it made the 19th spot.
All right.
Brandon.
18 for me is I'll Make You Famous with Billy the Kid and Doc and.
Oh. It was
Chavez.
I took it off. Go ahead.
Young Guns. You took it off?
I took it off.
Man, I took it on. How could I not? I mean, it's Emilio. It's Emilio. It's been my favorite Western since I was.
Blue Diamond.
Blue Diamond Phillips, Charlie Sheen,
Mhm.
Charlie.
Freaking drugs. Before drugs. Well, maybe before
No.
really affected by drugs.
Yeah, he wasn't. I would say this is probably before drugs too. I mean, he wasn't a big star then. I mean, he was
in Ferris
semi, but he wasn't.
This came out like 88, 87, 88.
Was he?
I feel like this is late 80s.
Maybe it is. But I loved Young Guns. I mean, just don't be shy.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know. You're being shy, Brandon.
I'm being shy.
Yeah.
I just don't want to talk about it.
Anyway, go ahead. If you hear us stop and comment, somebody writes a comment, guys. This is for our anchor audience that don't have visuals. Somebody might write a comment and we'll comment on it. But go ahead, continue.
But yeah, Young Guns.
See if anybody say anything on Facebook.
No, they ain't gonna say nothing. But anyway, Young Guns was an excellent, fun popcorn western with Billy the Kid and his gang getting revenge on Murphy for killing Tunstall. But I love Emilio like he is the best Billy the Kid there's ever been. I would love to hear someone challenge me on this. Aaron?
No, I have no challenge for you. Actually, I believe Billy the Kid, Emilio is by far the best.
Like I've not seen one person even come close. Now, obviously, I haven't seen the older westerns, but I truly have not. Even Rob Lowe as Jesse James is my favorite portrayal as Jesse. Like when Brad Pitt played it, I thought it was awful. I thought that movie was bad, and like it was dull, Rob Lowe and Bill Paxton.
I like Brad as Jesse, but yeah, no, I've yet to see anyone like. Okay, Emilio don't really look like Billy the Kid.
No,
but he had the spirit of Billy, and he made Billy more of a folk hero than he really was in real life. Billy the Kid was pretty dastardly, but but in this movie, it's really good. It just and then it spun a sequel of Young Guns 2.
Which is not a bad movie.
It's not bad. Most of the gang returns. They
killed Doc though.
Yeah. Now
Young Guns 3's coming.
Yeah. I think did they change Pat Garrett character?
Yeah.
They changed Pat Garrett in the sequel.
William Pearson.
Yeah.
Plays him. They got a nobody to play him in the first one, so I understand that.
Yeah. Well, it's more important role in part 2.
Yes.
Because we know what happens.
Yes.
Pat Garrett kills Billy. Allegedly.
You know what? Yeah, allegedly.
But
I would say
he died.
Well,
New Mexico. He's dead.
We don't know. We weren't there.
Yeah, no, I wasn't there.
But I would say William Peterson probably played him. I love Ethan Hawke as Pat Garrett and that the boy,
the kid. Yeah.
But I have to say Peterson played him the best.
Yeah, I haven't watched that film. I need to check that out.
It's good. Chris Pine's in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on my list to watch.
It's not bad. He's just not. It's not Young Guns. 1 or 2.
Yeah. My number, for those that are just tuning in, if you are, we're doing our top 25 movies of our favorite movies. Might not be your favorite, but it's what we consider our favorites. But number 18 for me is Superman 2.
I've never seen it.
Oh my gosh. So Superman 2 is, it has an epic fight scene between him and Zod. It's just, and I remember the colors, man. Like there's a big Coca-Cola's product placed all in that movie. But I think he throws Superman through a Coca-Cola truck. I'm pretty sure there's a billboard somewhere. But just remember how vibrant the reds look and stuff like that in the movie. And so it was such a good film to watch. And it made me a Superman fan. And more importantly, it made me a fan of Christopher Reeves. And so, now I kind of kept that love for Christopher Reeves up until he died. So, but yeah. And Christopher Reeves also shows up in Smallville, for those that didn't know.
I didn't know.
Were you planning to watch Smallville?
I recently bought them all, so yeah.
Did I ruin it for you?
He just shows up, right?
Yeah, he shows up.
No, it's not ruining it.
Okay.
It's kind of a Markout moment, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. It's freaking Christopher Reeves. Man, you mark out for Christopher Reeves. But anyway. But yeah, that's my number 18.
My number 17 is a Spielberg film. We recently reviewed it on here in the podcast, E.T. I don't need to say anything. You know what?
Make my list. Go ahead. Brandon got quiet and looked at me such a death stare.
Didn't even make his list. E.T. Phone Home.
It didn't phone home for me.
We just reviewed it. Gave it 5 stars.
I loved it. It's a great movie, but just it wasn't on my list. Though.
Man, it's one of his best. How does it not make your list?
Tell me why it made your list, Brandon. You had over 600, so tell me why this one.
I had 301. Honestly, I think it's probably the only Spielberg film that did make my list that he actually directed. I mean, I could be wrong.
You ain't gotta look at it right now. Just tell me why this one made your list, Brandon. Tell me why this one made your list.
It made my list because of the bond between E.T. and Elliot. I mean, you know, and it's before Goonies and it inspired Goonies. I mean, Goonies made my list. It's higher, but you know, but I love the bond. I love the camera shots. I love the town. I just love the film, Aaron.
It's a great film,
and it didn't make your list.
But it didn't make my list.
Hit me with your number 17.
Number 17 for me made my list, obviously. And it is number 17 is Stand By Me, Rob Reiner film.
Didn't make my list.
See?
Corey Feldman.
It's a
Phoenix, right?
a Stephen King
It
adapted story.
I haven't even read it.
That Rob Reiner directed. Rob Reiner we just seen him recently in no we didn't because he seems like he's in everything. Because he's an actor and a director as well.
I watched him recently and no, I don't think I did.
But when you see Rob Reiner's face, you know
Rob
Reiner.
He's Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah, he's always balding guy. He was in I forgot Bye Bye Love, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, you remember the movie?
I watched it last year.
Yeah. But yeah, Rob Reiner.
Love the song too.
The movie Stand By Me. It has Will Wheaton, Corey Feldman. It has
River Phoenix too.
River Phoenix. It has
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
John Cusack. Cusack made your list.
Cusack did make my list.
He's not important, but
he's barely in the movie. But yeah.
But he's there.
But also, dude, Jerry O'Connor. He's in it as a fat kid.
That's right. He was overweight.
Yeah, and he loses his weight because he's now married to
watched him
Rebecca Romaine Stamos. So you know.
Yeah, I recently watched
a movie buddy.
With him and Sam Elliott.
Good heartfelt movie. Stand By Me. I assume that's what you mean. Because what was yours? Because it can go either way. What was
E.T.
E.T. Oh, it could go either way. I don't know which one you mean, Crystal. So we're gonna believe you mean Stand By Me, but you probably mean E.T. It's probably for Brandon.
I would say E.T. is more of a heartfelt film than Stand By Me. But
she just says, "Yeah, we need answers, Crystal." Not yet, but yeah. So here you go. She's so fast. She's on it. All right, Stand By Me.
Oh.
So for the world to see, she meant Stand By Me.
Shocking.
Such a great movie. Plus, it has a great song by Benny King. But yeah, the movie is such a great coming of age. When I think of a coming of age story, it's like a summer film. Like in the summer, these friends they go on this last hurrah.
Somebody named Christy messaged you.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you. But anyway.
Go ahead.
Is it the tattoo lady at Half Price Books, Brandon?
No, it's not. But people are going to go there and they'll start saying something.
Yeah, tattoo lady. But anyway, she'll have to tune in. She's going to be featured heavily on this podcast episode. But anyway.
Well, I didn't know when I was going to go there. I was going to be featuring anybody. But
now you can't go back. But anyway. Stand By Me is a great coming of age story.
We'll have questions later.
And about friendship and what they go through and the innocence of, hey, y'all want to go on this adventure to find this kid, but don't know. But then they grow up on that adventure. It's a great movie. That's why it made my list. Stand By Me. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Number 16 for me. I think it's like the first horror film.
On your list?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Well, Poltergeist. But the first natural horror film, and I consider this the best slasher of the 80s.
I know where you're going.
And I'm not a typical fan of his. And Jason did not make my list, and everybody knows I love Jason, but his movies, although they're fun, they're not. This is a real horror film. I'm putting it out there, and I just insulted my boy. But anyway, Nightmare on Elm Street changed the game. Wes Craven changed. Man, he just changed everything in the 80s, the 90s. Oh, there's Tom Atkins. Love Tom. He's a great guy. You should meet him sometime.
I would love to.
He is.
I want him on our podcast.
I promoted a screenplay that I wrote once when I met him called In the Wilderness, and he said, "Give me a call. I'll do it." But
that's so awesome.
I never gave him a call. He said he was looking for work.
That's great film. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, Johnny Depp,
Heather Langenkamp.
Yeah, Robert Englund, Freddy. I mean, the whole story of him terrorizing these kids in their dreams is just amazing. It was so original, and it's Crystal's favorite horror film. It's truly, I would say, like, arguably, you could say this is the best horror film of the 80s.
Yeah.
Arguably. I mean, I got a little more ahead of it.
You can argue it. You can argue it, and you wouldn't be wrong in arguing it.
But the bit scene with Johnny, oh man,
it's great.
That still has not been topped, in my opinion.
To me, the death scene with I forget her name now. It's
Tina.
Yeah, with Tina
it's great too.
It's great. It's oh man, so great. And just like the way that I'm going to talk about it because it's on my list. I'm going to save mine for mine.
Right. Go ahead. Hit me the next one.
Number 16 for me is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, that was on my list, but I had to take it off.
Bill and Ted, early Keanu Reeves, and then Winters.
He's on my list.
Yeah. I know he is. There's only one or two places that guy will land on your list in the 80s. But anyway, so Alex Winters, yeah, there it is. But anyway, Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure is so outlandish. The concept of two stoners essentially who travel through time for their history project, because if they fail their history project, then the world as we know it will affect the future, because Wild Stallions won't get together and their music won't change and create this utopia.
It seems to be the plot of all their movies.
I haven't seen Face the Music.
Well, actually, I don't remember the plot for the second one, but the third one it's very similar. I like it.
The second one essentially is they the dude, I forget his name, but anyway, he creates these robot
I didn't like
faux Bill and Ted to evil Bill and Ted to kill them and then act like them and break up Wild Stallions so that it will then affect. It's Terminator essentially, so that it will affect the future. But it's not as good because I didn't like it as much. Even though I did like them introducing Death in it, and Death was a lovable character in that movie, but I don't like the movie in itself. I just thought, although it had a lot of surrealism, like the angles and stuff, especially in the hell scenes, the outlandish, like Beetlejuice type of style. It didn't make my list either. I'm sorry, and I wish it was on there, but I took it off. I love Beetlejuice, but anyway, it has that type of surrealism, but it's not as good as the first one. The first one, Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure, is just an excellent adventure. It's fun.
It is.
And that was a fun Billy the Kid too. It wasn't no Emilio, but he was a fun Billy the Kid. Genghis Khan, Napoleon Bonaparte. It's just really fun. Sigmund Freud, Aristotle, Socrates, because they keep calling him Socrates.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do this and also Abraham Lincoln, and then which was a really good looking Abraham Lincoln, which and then I'm just now.
Was he attractive?
No, just like he looks like Abraham. He look. They got a really good likeness of Abraham.
I feel you.
Which I'm judging from pictures. I didn't know the man personally. All I knew is he freed some folks. But anyway, all right. Let me see what's going on. Brandon, go ahead and hit you. Let's see. Crystal says, only movie to give me nightmares as a kid, I imagine, is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Hopefully, it's not Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure.
It could be.
Number 14 for me. Hang on. No, 15. Am I on 15? Yes, 15. All right. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. It's my favorite Indiana.
Like you said Doom, but yeah.
Temple of Doom.
I know. I heard you saying.
It's my favorite Indiana Jones film. I love the kid from Goonies in it. Data, even though he's not Data here, but you could say he is. But I love the darkness of this picture. It's fun, but it's dark too. And overall, I really had a blast with it. I love the big ball that's coming at him, and I just, you like
big balls coming in?
Not usually, but sometimes maybe.
$20 is $20, Brandon.
I hear that a lot lately.
Yep, y'all got to keep up with the comments. All right, my bad. But anyway, Indiana Jones didn't make my list.
None of them?
I love them, but no, they didn't. It was a good movie though.
Yeah.
And that's a Spielberg film. Yeah.
Spielberg made it again.
Actually,
it is Spielberg.
And it's Spielberg, but Lucas wrote
it.
But
I prefer his writing on Indiana Jones than Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean Indiana Jones is fun, but yeah.
I didn't say Star Wars wasn't fun, everybody.
But Indiana Jones is more fun than Star Wars. If you think of the original,
oh, you're gonna get a lot of hate.
That's
on that
fine
one.
If I do, but I'm not lying about it, But prove me wrong. The earlier Star Wars is pretty slow paced, and it doesn't really pick up until when Vader comes on and stuff like that. Maybe part 2, well, technically now it's like part 5. Yeah, it picks up and then 6 picks up. But no, let's be real. The earliest Star Wars isn't as fun as the early Indiana Jones.
I didn't say a word.
Come at me. I'm okay with that. All right. Number 15 for me is Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, they wanted to make it, but I'm just like, no, you're not there yet.
Revenge of the Nerds. Man, it is the most 80s movie that I could think of. It's got Michael Jackson featured heavily in it, and music-wise, it has great characters. David Carradine, John Carradine, also related to David, also related to Martha Plimpton. They're all related. They're all a big family. but yeah, it's just, and then Bernie Casey, he's in it as U.S. Not U.S. but UN. U.S.
The guy from ER's in it, right?
Yep.
He's like one of the leads.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget his name. Was he in the Waltons as well?
No, he wasn't. That's not the same guy.
Oh.
But no, it's such a good movie. It's about, for just general plot, nerds go into this college, and they get bullied by the alpha betas, and was forced off campus because their home was burnt up, and the alphas burnt their house down. Then they kicked the nerds out of their home on their dorm, their housing, and so they had to find housing, and they found this old decrepit house, and they repainted it and rebuilt it and made it the Lambda house, and become freaking famous. I love the movie, man. It's just such a great movie, even though it has some questionable stuff, Me Too stuff that you can't do these days. But
yeah.
But yeah, it's such a good movie though.
Leave it to you to bring that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up crazy stuff, Brandon. All right, but yeah, Revenge of the Nerds. You should check it out. You're okay with missing the rest of the movies. Also, you know what was on my list and I took it off? It's Police Academy. I like it, but there's other things I like more than it. But yeah, Revenge of the Nerds. Check out the first one. Pass the rest of them. You're okay. Nobody cares about the rest of them. Just the first one is the only one that counts. That's why I haven't bought the whole series, because I only really would want the first one.
I understand.
Yeah, I pretend like the rest of them don't even exist. I think I liked the second one
as well, but I didn't like 3 or 4. I think they did a 5th, but I never watched it.
What I didn't like about the second one is like the dude from ER isn't in it. I think he maybe is in it at one point in like a small cameo.
Yeah.
But at this point, he was in ER, I think. So he was like too big to be. Just
And
like
I think the other guy didn't come back for the other sequels. Maybe he did, but
no. I think he comes back later on. I think it mainly the rest of them follows like Booger and uh, they replaced the Wormsworth kid from the first movie with another actor. And back then, in the '80s, watching movies when they replaced actors, it was weird for me. I didn't understand it. Yeah, how was your response in
well, I didn't watch them till
like just
adulthood.
not just those movies, Brandon? I'm talking about like in general. So if you've seen a movie, they had the first movie had this person playing this person. So for instance, in uh, Friday the 13th part maybe 4, they had different.
Oh.
5 had a different Tommy Jarvis than 6. Is it right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I like to think part 5 never happened.
yeah, like 5.
Well, they do too. So
That's fake Jason. Right?
It's fake Jason.
Which hey,
that's not why I don't like the
other
movie.
Than the fake Jason, it wasn't a bad movie as far as like the kills.
No, I think it's
no,
I think the fake Jason aspect to it, Roy is pretty cool. I like. Yes, I know.
Roy's getting a lot more love. I think the movie is getting more love now. Like Halloween 3 is now. Those movies that people, the bastard of the franchises.
I like Friday 5 better than Halloween 3 though, because at least
it's still canon.
Yeah, there is a killer out there. You're not tricking people with masks. I don't care for Halloween 3 all that much. It's not that it's a bad movie. It's a fine Halloween movie, but it's not Halloween. If you know what I mean. It's a Halloween themed movie, but it's fine for that.
Well,
but
Carpenter.
I know Carpenter had a lot to do with it.
Well, Carpenter said, well, Tommy Wallace directed Halloween 3, who's also from Bowling Green represent. But anyway, Tommy Wallace. Oh, D Wallace. I love D. But anyway, if you hear me stop and look at the screen, it's because we're watching like this '80s horror documentary, and characters pop up on the screen every now and then, and D Wallace just happened to be one of them. But anyway, who was '80s mom. But all right, but Tom Wallace did it, and John was like, "There's no more story to tell. Why don't we do an anthology thing with Halloween?" But obviously, people was like, "No, we want Michael," and so that's why Michael is still alive today. And he says, John says actually in this documentary we're watching, he says he feels that that guy's a sweet guy. I know him, Cecil, but he says I feel that there wasn't no original story until 2018's Halloween. So he says he believes the Halloween and then Halloween 2018 are what he considers the official Halloween films. Which
I mean he's not wrong.
Yeah.
As far as original story, they're pretty much they're the stories get recycled. But that is slasher films in general that have franchises. They get recycled. It's like a continuation of the first movie. It's really what it is.
Well, the first one to really kind of break that cycle, well, maybe not the first one. The one that really broke that cycle, in my opinion, would have been Child's Play, because with Chucky, it was getting boring. Like 3 is pretty bad, and then there's like, let's switch it up a little bit and do the Bride of Chucky, and just took it to a different direction with it, and it just made it it made it a fresh spin on it.
Then Siege went in another direction and ruined it.
Yeah. But anyway,
sadly, Chucky has not recovered.
Like
theatrically, he hasn't been back since. Yeah, John Carpenter.
My dude.
Number 14 for me though is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I know you are, but what am I?
Divinity.
I like. I love this movie. Like Pee-wee was my hero as a kid. Like, I know you're beeping.
That's right.
But he really was. Like, he was truly my hero. I love Pee-wee Herman. I loved watching his show.
Your mom's calling.
She is. And I loved watching his show. I loved watching his films. But Pee-wee's Big Adventure, it was just excellent storytelling for a comedy. back in the 80s, and it was just about his bike.
It was an adventure. It was a hell of an adventure.
It was. And I love the ending when he says, "I'm a rebel."
I'm going to tell you this. Let me tell you real quick. So Pee-wee's Big Adventure is one of my first, I say ventures into horror without it being horror. And it's the Large Marge scene. That scared me so much, because he just starts telling the story and then he does that.
Yeah.
And it just really, like, as a kid watching it, was like, it's terrifying. And so, it was like it's so good, man. It has everything. It's such I'm a loner rebel. I'm a loner Dottie, a rebel. Um, I'm just thinking about lines from that movie. But anyway, that's when I laugh like that. It's because the line just popped up in my head. I can't say it. Anyway, that's what was that?
14.
14. Number 14 for me is Spaceballs, the movie.
I knew it was coming.
Spaceballs made it. Spaceballs is, without a doubt, and this might be controversial for some people, but Brandon will agree, this is without a doubt Mel Brooks' best film ever.
Well, that I've seen. I can agree.
Yeah, that you've seen. You haven't seen them all. That I've seen, because I haven't really totally seen them all. I've seen a lot more than you have.
You have.
But I haven't seen them all. Like, I still haven't seen 12 Cheers, and I really haven't seen all of Young Frankenstein, and things like that. But I would
have to agree that it probably is his best film.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than Blazing Saddles, and I wish I would have. I mean, Blazing Saddles was good, but it's not as great as Spaceballs. Spaceballs has John Candy, Bill Pullman, some more. Rick Moranis, freaking Rick Moranis is in it, and he's so good. He says, "Food you."
Yeah, he's excellent in that movie.
Oh man, it's just such a good movie. That's a terrible movie. It's on the screen right now, but anyway, it's Halloween. That's probably 13-3D. Anyway, that is my pick. Brandon, go ahead.
Number 13 for me is Rocky IV.
That's the Russian.
That's the Russian, right? What's wrong?
I like it, but I was surprised it wouldn't be higher, lower towards the beginning of your list.
I got some other stuff that's
the Rocky's good though. I mean, that's my favorite Rocky movie by far. Yeah. That one and then Balboa is my favorite Rocky films.
It used to be just the original was my favorite. Like 3 and 4 really grew on me. 4.
You're the weird guy that likes 5.
I don't mind 5. I
don't
understand the issue with Rocky 5. I mean, it's pretty much Creed, except except the guy turns on him in the end. You know,
Creed is better.
But in Rocky 5, you want to see Stallone kick his butt. you want to see.
What I didn't like about Rocky 5 is that it was a street fight, but now it makes sense that it had to be a street fight because that's how it had to go. I have no idea what this is, but anyway, but yeah, no, I think that it.
But I love Rocky 4 though. I mean, if he dies, he dies.
You know what? You know what's funny is when I watched Rocky 4 as a young
Did you cry? Kid, Apollo bites it.
Yeah, I was sad. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it hits me hard.
I always wish that they would have threw in the towel. But I don't think it would have helped them. No, I think Ivan was like there to kill.
Yeah.
I thought he was a machine and that he was on steroids. Like literally, I thought he was a robot because in my brain I couldn't differentiate between what I was seeing plus like a Rambo, like a Terminator type of character. So
he basically was the Terminator.
Yeah, human Terminator
in human form.
But
I bet he wanted Arnold for the role. Arnold turned it down. Well, I'll go get some new guy, and he'll do better than you would anyway.
And I can't see nobody else honestly in that role. And what
he reminds me of Arnold.
And him coming back in Creed 2 was. I love how they removed the facade of Ivan, and that now his life has been terrible.
Yeah.
And it's been affecting his. It's such a great series, man. Just the whole series is such a great series. Balboa is my favorite Rocky film other than 4 because he comes back out of retirement to fight, and nobody thinks he can. But then the one guy, the newscaster, the reporter dude, the commentator guy. He's sitting there in awe, and they said, "What's wrong?" He says, "I can't believe I'm sitting there seeing Rocky fighting," and that's how you feel. You felt like that character was us watching him.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Such a great movie. It makes me want to watch it right now. Do I own them? I think I own all the Rockies. I own all the Rockies.
I mean, like
I don't think I own all the Creeds, but I do own all the Rockies.
To me, it's not a bad Rocky film. Even though Part 5 gets considered the worst. I'm not saying it's not the worst. It is the worst. But I still appreciate that story.
Mm-hmm.
His brain, it's not working right, and he can't fight anymore. And Paulie made him go bankrupt, and it's
makes so much sense. Paulie was a
yeah, he was. But
I miss Paulie.
And he gets taken advantage of by Tommy, and he forgets his son. He treats Tommy more of a son. I just love the whole concept.
I love how they brought the son back, Peter Petrelli.
Yeah.
I know him from Heroes. It's Peter Petrelli, but
that's, I don't know if that's his name. Is that his name in the show?
It's his name on Heroes.
Okay.
Peter Petrelli. He's also in
This Is Us.
This Is Us, and Misha.
Miko.
Miko, yeah. Miko. Misha is somebody else. But
he was in a horror movie you hated about the video game comes to life. He dies. He's in the opening scene.
I don't even remember it. Oh yeah. That movie's so bad. Yeah,
I don't hate it.
I know you don't, Brandon. You don't hate a lot of stuff.
I try to find something in everything to love.
Yep. even other things. But anyway,
well, I don't know what you mean by that. But go ahead.
All right, number 13 for me is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You already touched on it. No, you touched on the movie, and the movie is about like a guy who shrinks his children. Actually, he didn't shrink him. What happens is a baseball goes through a window, turns on a machine that he was trying to make an experiment to reduce the size of stuff for like sufficiency, I guess, and cost, but inadvertently shrinks his children. Inadvertently throws the children in the trash and takes them in the backyard, where they have this whole adventure going from the back fence all the way to the inside the house, and they come. It's not just his kids, but it's the neighbor kids, and it's such a great movie, man. And it's Spielberg film. Is it Spielberg? It feels like Spielberg.
No.
Probably the maker. Who is it?
I'm not sure who directed that movie.
It's such a great movie. I should know this. Like, it's really, but it feels like a Disney movie. That's why I said Spielberg, because Spielberg and Disney seems like lovers or something. But let's see, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It is directed by Joe Johnston.
Oh, from Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, Lord. Well, you did this one. There you go. That's something.
You did A-Team as well.
Oh, Lord. You did this one. See, that's something. You did something good.
You don't like A-Team?
No. The movie?
Yeah, I like
it. The one with like Rampage Jones, whatever his name is.
What, I mean, Liam Neeson, Bradley Cooper?
Maybe I don't see it. Maybe I don't remember it. And that makes sense because it's forgettable. But anyway. It's my 13.
All right, number 12 is The Burbs.
Oh. Bestow your hand, Aaron.
But we're kind of running out of time here, so I'm just gonna it's an hour and a half. So
oh wow, we are. Yeah.
So,
good. All right, number 12 for me is Color Purple. Great film. It's Whoopi Goldberg's in it. Oprah Winfrey's in it. Still Steven Spielberg directed. It's just a great film. If you haven't seen Color Purple, what's wrong with you, Brandon? You should watch it. Go ahead.
I love how he just keeps taking these little shots. If you haven't seen it, Brandon, there you go. Number 11 for me is, in my opinion, John Carpenter's best film, The Thing. Russell Crowe.
I don't know what it's going to be for you. My goodness. I'm so confused. All right.
It's like I believe it's. I always say it's my favorite horror film, but I actually have another horror film above it. But go ahead.
Number 11 for me is The Breakfast Club.
All right.
Breakfast Club made the list. I absolutely love Breakfast Club. Judd Nelson.
And Anthony Michael Hall, Emilio Estevez.
Yeah,
Ali
Emilio
Sheedy.
made by Ali Sheedy, yeah.
And the girl from the 80s. Molly Ringwald.
Molly Ringwald, yeah. And then the dude with the horns, that guy.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
I'll give you the horns.
Metro the Bull, get the horns. But what a great film. That if you've never seen Breakfast Club, if you want to see a John Hughes film, Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Weird Science, you can't go wrong. Pretty in Pink, you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with John Hughes.
Nope.
You just can't go wrong with John Hughes.
You want to know my number 10?
I do.
The Breakfast Club.
We're thinking we're in the same level there.
Yeah. So, give you a few number 10s. Nothing needs to be said.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Number 10 is Elm Street.
One of the greatest horror films ever made. He already went through it. Ain't no need for me to hash that. Yeah. Brendan, number
9 for me. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Predator.
I ain't got time to bleed. You got time to duck?
I like it. Yeah, Predator. That's good.
Get to the hang on. No. Get to the chopper. No! That's terrible. But I love the line.
You're not good at doing impressions.
No, I can't do Arnold or anyone really.
I could do Arnold.
Now if I really get going, I can do him. If I really get going acting stupid.
Okay, sit down. Don't do it. Don't do it now. Anyway, number 9 for me is Coming to America. The movie just now got a sequel. It is on Prime. But Coming to America, the first one with Eddie, Arsenio, James Earl Jones. It's just a great movie, period. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
I would hope so. Coming to America, one of the greatest comedies of all time. Brandon, go ahead.
Welcome to the party, pal. Die Hard is my number 8 pick.
Oh, Brandon. All right.
What?
I love it. Number 8 for me, though, is The Thing. The Thing is John Carpenter's best film ever. And I say that, I'm a Halloween guy, but The Thing is by far his greatest horror film that he's ever made. It's just a perfect film.
I love you guys. Number 7. I did it wrong. But you don't know it?
No, go right ahead.
Do you want me to do the truffle shuffle?
Oh, okay.
Number 7 for me is The Goonies.
Was that supposed to be slow?
Yeah, it was. I did it wrong.
My God.
If it would have did it at the beginning, it would have done right.
Road.
Yeah, but that's what I said. You know, I love The Goonies. Though is just like one of the best adventure films ever made. I mean, you know, it really is. I mean, but go ahead, Aaron.
Number 7 for me is The Burbs with my boy Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher and Art guy, that guy. Anyway, who should have been John Candy, but I'm glad it was that guy because he did a good job. But anyway, what a great movie. I quote that movie all the time. I love that movie. Pizza Dude is here.
Corey Feldman.
Corey freaking Feldman's in it. That's such a great movie.
Corey Feldman's in my next.
Like, I feel like I own that, or if I don't, I should. I just love it. I love that neighborhood. It feels like a real neighborhood. We have a whole episode dedicated to the Burbs, so just go back and watch or listen to that. Rather than not, you can't watch it because we didn't have it up. Yeah.
No, it's on Anchor.
Go ahead, buddy.
Number 6 for me is when it has the coolest vampire ever lived.
Friday Night. Oh no, I know it. Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys, David. I mean, it's
Dandridge is the coolest, but David's close.
I'm gonna go with David. Yep, I'm gonna go with David's the coolest. Not only is he the coolest vampire, they are the coolest vampires to ever live. As a whole team.
Ned Dark was they're pretty cool vampires.
But I love Corey Haim in this. I love Corey Feldman. Jason Patrick was a miss for me.
The Frog Brothers.
The Frog Brothers and David. You know, Alice Winter. You know, just such a cool vampire.
A good movie.
It is.
Is Dee Wallace the mom in there?
Nope.
Like she should be the mom.
Nope.
No, is the lady.
Yes, the lady.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know her.
She was in Parenthood. Yeah.
Diane Weiss.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, her.
She was also Clint Eastwood's wife in The Mule.
Didn't know that.
Because you haven't seen
She's
it.
also in I care about you.
I care about you too, buddy.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's really a movie. But anyway, and I care about you a lot. No, I care a lot. I care a lot is what it's called. All right, number 6 for me. Die Hard. Die Hard.
I was actually expecting that to be in your top 4.
Die Hard. Die Hard. You got you some. McClane. You got you some. Carl. What's his name? Anyway, the dude from Family Matters. That guy. He's Carl Winslow.
Cowboy.
Yeah, he's in there, man. You got Hans Gruber. You got some great villains. It's so good. Such a great movie. It is a Christmas movie. I digress. Go ahead, Brandon.
Number 5 for me is I'll Be Back.
Terminator.
In the Terminator.
Okay. It's top 5. Okay.
Yeah, man. Obviously, it was gonna be top 5 for me. It's Arnold. It's Sarah Connor. It's Michael Biehn. Is Kyle Reese.
It's James Cameron.
Paul Winfield.
Best film.
Is the police. Well, it's actually a tie for me for his best film.
Better than T2.
That and T2.
Well, Avatar though.
Huh? Avatar.
Not even in the competition.
I don't think that's in the. I mean, what he did, 3D wise.
Titanic.
Titanic would make my top 3 or 4 for him.
Yeah.
I think Aliens would be. I wouldn't put Aliens above True Lies.
No.
I would say True Lies is number 3.
We did 90s list. That'd be so hard.
But yeah, Terminator, man. It's a perfect science fiction action horror film. It just. It just is. It's perfect.
I agree. Number 5 for me, Bill Murray, Scrooge.
Well, I wanted it, but it didn't.
That movie is my favorite Christmas movie of all time. Period. Like that is a true Christmas movie. It's my favorite Christmas movie of all time. I own it. It's just great. Bill Murray. It's just a great movie. I feel warm thinking about it. It's such a good movie.
I'm gonna take some hits on number 4.
Oh. For me?
Probably. I think everybody's going to be like shocked.
Go ahead.
Number 4 is a martial arts film.
I'm not going to hit you.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme. It made him who he is. Bloodsport. Yeah.
You spoil yourself, Brandon.
I just said Jean-Claude Van Damme. It could have been anything.
In the 80s, martial arts, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be No Retreat, No Surrender.
It could have been Cyborg or
was that in the 80s?
Kickboxer.
Not Cyborg. You're talking about Universal Soldier.
That was 90s.
Oh, what's Cyborg? I'm caught is my favorite.
Cyborg is when he
movie. But anyway,
it's kind of like Mad Max meets the Terminator.
I don't even remember that movie.
Yeah, I liked it. It was not one of my
favorites. But it wouldn't be your favorite.
No, I mean,
my goodness.
It was in my top 300.
There you go. But so
yeah, Bloodsport.
Why do you like Bloodsport? Because it's not on my list.
Why I like Bloodsport? Well, it made Van Damme who he is. It made him a household name. I love the Kumite aspect. Bolo Yeung.
Kumite.
Yeah, Kumite. I love Bolo as Chung Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Without him in this movie, it wouldn't nearly be as good. He is a believable
badass.
Yes, just man. He's a killer in this movie, and the big guy, I forget his name, Jackson. He's just a lovable teddy bear that can fight but can't fight well. Mm-hmm. Not compared to the other martial artist. He's like this American bulldozer, but he's a street fighter, but not martial artist. But Van Damme, his whole story, as Frank Dukes, which Frank Dukes is supposed to have been based on a true story, and it's kind of been proven that he lied about everything. But the movie's still great. I mean, I don't know. I love the fight scenes, and that roundhouse kick, man. I replayed it like 20 times in a row.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah, right. Like I said, people probably hit me with it, but I love that movie.
Number 4 for me?
Number 4.
Gremlins. Gremlins is on my list, man. Gremlins is at the number 4 spot. Gizmo is such an iconic character. He's somewhere up here. He's right there. He hanging up. It's my same Gizmo I've had since I was like a child, and so like the exact same one. And so I'm a huge fan of Gremlins and Gizmo, and it scared me when I was a kid, but also it enticed me too because I really liked Gizmo is a character. I even forgive Gremlins 2 because I like Gizmo that much.
I would never forgive Gremlins 2.
And plus, it has Hogan in it.
It has Hogan, but man, that movie's, to me, it's so bad.
It is pretty bad, but we need a do-over. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you're getting it.
Yeah, Mogwai.
You're getting an animated show, and you're supposed to get Gremlins 3. So you're getting it. My number 3, which will be Aaron's number 1. I mean, I already know you're number 1. I mean, if it's not,
go ahead.
If it's not,
go ahead.
But my number 3 is Back to the Future.
Go ahead. Okay.
Is that not going to be
continue?
But I mean, I love the story.
What's not to love?
Doc Brown,
Marty
McFly, George McFly, Lorraine.
Lorraine.
I mean, Biff.
Biff Tannen steals the scenes.
He does.
It makes sense more. It's like putting a.
Hey, you! Get your hands off her, George.
That's pretty good.
Hey, I got one. I just quoted Jaws too. Yeah. And Aaron's like, who is this guy?
Number 3 for me is Adventures in Babysitting. It's like one of my favorite films of all time. You know what it's gonna be.
I didn't know it was gonna be so high.
Adventures in Babysitter is like one of my favorite movies.
I'm now concerned.
I'm
concerned now.
Such a great film.
If your next two isn't what I think it is.
I love this movie. Just you should watch it if you haven't seen Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah, it's a great film.
It's great.
Elizabeth should make your top 3 twice.
Let's go.
Number 2 for me is Willow. It's my favorite fantasy film. I love Warwick Davis. I have massive love.
Willow. It had a dawn on me that you just said Willow.
Yeah,
that's your Adventures in Babysitting as well.
Yeah, actually, it was brought up at the Half Price Bookstore from the same girl
with the chick with the tattoos.
Well, we gotta go with what she had. But we were talking about Willow. We were talking about Ghostbusters first, then Willow. No, they were roses.
Ooh, more details, guys. Right, take notes.
Oh, shut up. But no, it was get me off track. She was talking about Val Kilmer. It's one of his best roles in the movie. I hate you.
Hey, we got comments.
I bet you do now.
Let's see what they say. Hold up. This is from Crystal. She is laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing or something.
You know what I forgot though? No Commando.
No Commando for me either.
But yeah, Willow is. I love the fantasy aspect. I love Warwick Davis and the Brownies. The Brownies, who you don't know, are the very little people. Well, I mean, really little, like little. People. I
hadn't seen that movie so long.
Oh man, it's my favorite. I have a good friend that loves Willow. Katie. She also loves Willow.
Yeah, I immediately think Katie Vick, but okay.
No. Katie Collins.
I don't know. Are you just giving names to people on YouTube and stuff? Don't do that. What's wrong with you? Crazy. There's some psychos out here, Brandon.
I mean, I wouldn't expect anyone to. Anyway, she's a really good friend. She loves Brandon. She loves Willow.
It's been out of control, man.
I know it's been out of control.
All right, so number 2 for me is Goonies. Goonies never say die. Goonies is
what?
Goonies is number 2 for me.
It didn't make your list.
Goonies is the greatest.
It didn't make your list. My number 1 didn't make your list.
Goonies is the greatest movie.
Oh, I don't know what to even think.
It's the greatest kids adventure film of the 80s. Everybody is so perfect in it. And Dick Donner does an excellent job in it. And Spielberg is felt in it because he's the producer for it. Just a good movie. And plus you got Corey Feldman.
Corey.
And then you got
I know it's a great movie. You're right.
Yeah, it's just Brad. Everybody did. Dude that was Hobbit later on in life.
The girl from Lucas was also in it.
Yep. Literally.
I said from Lucas, like she's from Lucas, she's from the Goonies. I'm gonna say Lucas. But with Corey Haim.
Yep.
She worked with the two Corys.
She had a Corey. She knew both Corys.
She kissed both of them.
There you go. She likes some Corys. But she number 1.
She also kissed the Sheen. You don't know where to go with that one. My number 1 which is like one of the most popular brands today.
I'm waiting.
Sand the floor. Show me Sand the floor.
Karate Kid.
It's the Karate Kid.
He could have just said it. He just like.
No, I got to quote it. I mean.
Okay. All right. Well,
wax on, wax off.
You do not sound like Mr. Miyagi.
I know I don't.
You're pretty bad at Mr. Miyagi.
I'm bad at everybody.
Except for George McFly, honestly.
Yeah, I was reading some comics, and I every time I would read George in the comics, I would say it out loud in George's voice.
Hey, you.
Get your damn hands off her. No, I didn't do it. I came up a little bit Hogan.
You are my density. I mean, my destiny. Speaking of which, number one for me is Back to the Future.
I knew you was going to bring it back to that.
Back to the Future.
I mean, you don't even give me time for number one for Karate Kid. You just
everybody knows how you feel about Karate Kid.
Everybody knows.
Danielson.
Danielson.
Johnny sweeps the leg. Dude goes down. Then Cranes kick him in the face. We know that messed Johnny up for years to come. He was an alcoholic. Later on, he started the Cobra Kai again. He got a whole nother season to show stuff like that. Now he had to leave the Cobra Kai and he's going to form a dojo with Daniel, and they are going to be probably Miyagi Kai. That makes sense.
Miyagi Kai.
That sounds really good.
Miyagi Kai.
I'll go there. That sounds good.
Ralph Macchio. He just gave you a free one.
There you go. If you haven't written it,
he's already written it because they've already filmed it. But
I hope it's called Miyagi Kai. It makes sense.
Miyagi Kai.
Yeah. Sounds good. Don't do that to the mic, Brandon. You don't know etiquette. But anyway. So, Back to the Future is by far my favorite movie of the 80s. It is why I'm a huge Michael J. Fox fan. Why I'm a huge Christopher Lloyd fan.
Say it. Biff Tannen.
Biff Tannen is freaking great.
Best villain ever.
Yeah, he's really good.
To some people.
Yeah.
To a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm one included.
Yeah. Make like a tree and get out of here. Let's make like a tree and leave you. That's actually Back to the Future too. But anyway, he said it makes as much sense as a screen door on the tugboat. He says, no, that's part two too. See, I'm quoting part two a lot. But this one is really good.
Hello, McFly. Anyone home?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to quote it.
Trying to do something. I don't know what you're trying to do. Mayor. I'll be mayor. No, my favorite quote in the movie is, can I have Pepsi free? What do you mean? If you want Pepsi free, you got to pay for it. If you want Pepsi, you got to pay for it. Such a great movie.
As I always say.
Brandon, you can't be quiet on the microphone. What are you about to say? Say it right now.
No, that's the quote.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
As I always say. I was giving it to you.
No, don't.
When he writes his book, I
don't know.
The science fiction book.
I don't remember, man. I don't remember, bro. Anyway, it's been our list, man. We almost went 2 hours, but next week we're returning with Harry and Henderson, right?
Yep, that's what you told me.
Yep, and then after that we are doing blockbusters.
I got Independence Day, so that may be my first one.
Yeah, it's gonna be his first one.
Would Demolition Man count as a blockbuster?
If it made money in the summer, yeah.
I don't know if it made money. I don't think it.
I won't do Jurassic Park because we've already did it, so I'm not gonna do that again.
I'm glad because I don't have it.
I don't know. I've been thinking about this. I don't know if Matrix was a summer movie. I know The Mummy was a summer movie, and it was a blockbuster movie.
I think The Matrix was.
Don't want to do. I don't know. I might choose The Matrix. We'll see. But which is great because it's funny because Will Smith. No, actually, he turned down The Matrix to do Wild Wild West.
It was
bad idea.
It was a bad idea. But then again,
we wouldn't have Keanu today. Like that was his resurgence. Matrix was Keanu's resurgence.
I was
first resurgence. It was.
Did he really go down though?
Keanu was
Speed like
Keanu
years
was
before that?
Speed was 93, 93, 94, I think.
What was
Matrix was like 99.
Was it that long?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was like 96, 97.
I think the Matrix was like 90.
But he was like huge in the 90s, though. I mean, that was his era. I mean, started with Point Break, and you got Speed, you got the Matrix.
Matrix was 99. I want to say Speed was 94. Speed was 94.
Yeah, because Jeff Daniels did that and Dumb and Dumber same year.
Yeah. So, so next week we'll do Harry and the Hendersons. We'll end our little 80s cap, and then we'll be back with some blockbusters, man. Jaws is not going to be featured, even though technically it was the first blockbuster film. So we're going to give this worth.
It will be mentioned.
It will be mentioned. Well, and I love Jurassic Park, but obviously we've already done it, and there's not much you can say about Jurassic Park more than what you have. It's just one of the greatest movies of all time. Spielberg is a hit maker. But anyway, Aaron Whitlow,
Brandon Spivey.
We are the Markout Movie Podcasters. Thank you for marking out with us. Brandon, got anything to say?
I don't. I've said enough.
I'm trying to stop the thing. You just ain't talking. Thank you.